This is Clarissa, and I'm going to start a new adventure. So, let's see, what can I tell you? The name of my channel is Trips and Trots, and this is because I've been running for a long time now. Very novice though, like not a fast runner, but I've ran a bunch of marathons, and I'm going to run my 8th in January. And we like to do camping and amusement parks, and I just wanted to show you the beautiful sights around my area and places that I can share with you along our journey. We like to camp, and my husband decided I should go ahead and try to do this. So I'm gonna walk with this little gimbal that I bought 2 years ago and today is the first day that I'm actually using it. So I don't know what else to say about that, but just thought I'd show you the area. This is like a little reservoir dam area from my local town. I live here in the central area of Pennsylvania, and I think the next video that I'll make after this one, if I ever upload this one, we don't know yet, will be maybe a camping adventure at one of the local campgrounds. Well, kind of local. It's about an hour away from where we live, and we're doing that this weekend. So come join me on my adventure. People like to fish here. It's a beautiful area. We may even see a glimpse of a bald eagle or something today. You just never know. Now, one thing that I haven't tried yet is to see if I can run with this in my hand. So we're gonna try it out and see what happens. Let me put my hat on. There we go. Alrighty, I'm getting that on. And Chicago Marathon 2012, best running experience ever. I almost PR'd. My first marathon was my fastest marathon, and I'm a slow runner, so I finished in like 4 hours and 46 minutes. That was a Steamtown marathon, and like I said, I've ran 7. I'm going to run my 8th. So, slowest one was way over 6 hours. But I didn't get swept, so that was a plus. And as you age, if you're not really supporting your exercise and keeping up with it, you lose it. And I did. So now I maintain a much slower pace, but I still enjoy it, and now my husband does it too. All right, that was my first run, and let's set my watch. I like to use Strava, and I use my Apple Fitness watch, my Apple Watch with Apple Fitness, and I use Apple Fitness Plus. So I'm trying to get my breath back now. So this is going to be an adventure, a new experience for me. Like I said, I don't know how to edit. I don't know how to do any of that. But everyone says if you just say you're gonna do it and then you never do it, you never will. So I'm gonna try, see what happens. And I don't even know how far I'll get in this, but it's just for hobby, because I like to share. My name again, Clarissa. I like to explain everything, or it all, or however you want to say it. There was a very famous show back in the late 80s, early 90s. So yeah, I don't know what else to say right now, but I know I have things that I'd like to say. YouTube has been very valuable to me. I taught myself how to knit, how to crochet by using YouTube. Such a great resource. And I really enjoy watching other people too and finding out what everybody's up to. There are certain people that I follow, and I could give a shout out to a couple people just by mentioning names, not channels, but there's Kitra, Peter, Nate, Kyle, Chris, David, a lot of people. Look, it's like this is really cool. See? Pretty cool back here. So, and my husband, he's out running right now. Like I said, I'm doing a run jog to see just how I'll be able to handle the experience of being able to talk to you guys. And maybe sometimes I won't talk at all. Maybe you might just be enjoying the view of the surroundings and not really, hearing much from me. There's a lot to see in the world, and I like to show it. Yeah, so this is pretty cool back here. So I'm on the right path. Good. We have some bugs. It's okay. It's that time of year. We're in the middle of summer. Well, kinda. Yeah, we're in July, so we're in the middle of summer. It's so beautiful back here. Look. Isn't this nice? Yeah. Now we have some people, so I might try to avoid. People sometimes don't want to be part of your video, so I'm just gonna do a little swoop around. Maybe we'll pick up on the run again. All right, almost 2.2 of a mile. Just walking, not running. Jogging. That's what I'm doing, jogging. Now, eventually I'll get better at this, and you'll be able to not just look at me, but I'll be able to show you guys stuff too. Like maybe there's some soccer fields over here. I'm back again with you. I'm not really feeling the run today. Maybe the excitement of trying something new, or maybe just the fact that I'm holding this in my hand and I've never done it before. I'm going to pause the video for a minute. We've got some people. And there we go. All right. I see my husband. He's probably warming up. There we go. That's him. Say hi, Michael. And we're off. He's going to run his first marathon in January. He already smokes me. He runs faster than me. It is what it is. Oh, what else could I say? So yeah, we like to camp and we love amusement parks, so I love to share a lot of that content with you too. Concerts, I love big concert enthusiasts, but with copyrights and the stuff I hear about that's probably a no-no. So, all still stuff I have to learn, little by little. then what kind of sneakers do I like? Well, kind of flat-footed. I'm gonna walk a little. My husband's off and gone. I don't have much of an arch, and I have wider feet. So I've always been guided towards stability shoes whenever I was running, and they worked. As a matter of fact, I was very injury-free for the first 3 to 4 marathons that I ran. Maybe like, you know, an occasional knee brace or something if I felt like something needed added support, but they did work. And then whenever I took that hiatus off for about 7 years, I wasn't really doing much serious running at all. And then I picked it back up in 2019, which even that seems like so far and so long ago. But that's whenever I decided that I was going to do it again. And that's whenever I realized that keeping a marathon pace between a 10 and an 11 minute mile wasn't what I can do anymore. So my goal was just to make sure that I finished, and most of my marathons, even the next one, will probably be more of a walk run. But this year I've stepped up my game, and my 5 and 10K paces are getting better. Last year in 2024, I was still struggling to break like a 15 minute mile pace. And this year I'm doing much better. I've broke the 12 minute mile pace for short distances between 2.5 and a 5K pace. So I'm definitely owning taking more responsibility and putting in the work, being more dedicated than just trying to get 2 to 3 runs in a week. Now it's like 4 to 5, but I've always needed more rest days. Even whenever I was younger, I needed more rest days. If I had a long run, it would probably be like at least short runs the following week, no more than like half the distance of what I did long, and then try to follow through and pick up, they say to increase by 10% for the next long run. So if you were at 9, then it would be 9.9, or you might as well just do 10 and then just continue to build off of that. And then sometimes I'd have to take more than that off, but as long as I was getting 2 long runs in within that month, it kept me on track. So my goal for this year is to definitely be out there, feet to the ground, even if it's walking though. And sometimes I do walk with one of my friends, and I do count those miles whenever we do our walks together. Because I run walk now a lot of the time anyway for the long distances. So yeah, we have 2 very exciting half marathons coming up. This will also be my husband's first half marathon. And it'll be a surprise. Like I said, if I ever even post this video, I don't know if I will or not, but if I do, then, you'll be able to follow us on our journey for the 2 half marathons that we have planned before we run the full. And the beginning of the year of 2026. So we're very excited. And we'll just see where it goes. And I'm back. I realized that I was talking about the fact that I'm flat-footed and, well, mostly flat-footed. I'm not completely flat-footed, but wider foot. Was always told, guided, recommended to use a stability shoe. So Asics Saucony, mostly Saucony, and I use the Saucony Guide 17s right now. I know they came out with a new version that looks very similar, maybe a little differences, but I have 2 pair of Saucony Guide 17s. I try to rotate both pair out. Today I'm wearing the pair that has less miles on them. Then when I started getting my husband interested in running, and he said he would never run, it just wasn't, he didn't think he could, his knees, he was heavier, and I told him that if he could jog for 30 seconds and walk for 2 minutes and put that on repeat for like 5 times, could he do that? And he said, well, yeah, I could do that. So that's where we started. Jog for 30, rest for 2 minutes, and then I think we initially kept with the 30-second jog and went with less rest time. And by no means, I mean, I'm just going by gut feelings. And then we'd have less rest time in between the jogs. And then I think whenever we got down to like a minute, we started increasing the jog times to like 45 seconds. And kept the same rest of a minute, so he weren't stressed out about the fact that I put extra seconds in on that jog and I don't have a lot of rest. So we kind of kept the rest period kind of like at a minute. And as he progressed and started getting stronger, then we just kept closing the gap on the rest, increasing the miles on the jog. And he did his first 5K. And then he did suffer an injury in the very beginning, which, because he was feeling good. Everyone knows about those endorphin highs. But he pulled through it and he started losing weight. Lucky men. But yeah, right now I'm in the Guide 17s. Sorry, I'm all over the place, but and when my husband started running, going back to the shoes, he went at it hardcore about different shoes, and I was always one. I'm going to try to jog a little bit more and talk. Maybe if I can try to jog very slowly, I can maintain my breath and talk. But he was like, you need to try different shoes. And I was never that person. Oh, here's my husband. Here. We're going to say hello. Look at him. He's doing great. Don't know how to turn the video around without just going like that. Can you see yourself? Okay.
What?
Yeah. Okay. So he got me. So I was a set it and forget it kind of girl. I found the shoe that I wanted to train in. I'd train in it. And that was it. Do all my training in that shoe, or if I was doing multiple, like a half and a full, I'd wait until I knew that it felt like there was enough or too much breakdown in the shoe. There was time to get another pair. But I'd stick with the same style of shoe. And then say I knew that the one was worn down enough, or if I had actually put holes in the tops of them, because I had, yeah, I'd just go and make sure that I got that brand new shoe 2 to 3 weeks before the big day, just to make sure that they were broken in a little bit, you know. Even though you're wearing the same shoe, you just never know if there's going to be like issues with the new shoe, because there could be teeny tiny differences in every shoe manufactured, I'm sure. But that's what I did. And my husband was just like, no, you need to try different shoes. And I'm like, get out of here, I'm not doing that. And then he talked me into it. So I started looking, and so far, the shoe that I like the best, that I Googled and asked a lot of questions, can't really say I researched. I just threw questions into Google about what would be the best shoe for someone that, you know, has my build and my feet and my pace. But first one that came up was the New Balance Super Comp, or is it New Balance? You guys know what I'm talking about. It's the New Balance one that has the carbon plate in it. And I think it's the Elite. Yes. So New Balance Fuel Cell Super Comp Elite, something like that. That's how much I know about shoes. But so I got it. And the first time I put it on, I was like, oh, this ain't gonna work, because I was so used to that stability structure that would just guide me, and it's not like that. There's a lot of bounce and a lot of wiggle room, but I do have to admit that I think that even though there's things about it that make you run faster, more so than what you would do with your average shoe, I feel that those shoes are actually making me stronger too, because I am having to use different muscles in my foot that I didn't have to use whenever I was in the stability shoe, because it was just like the shoes that I have on right now. I feel highly confident in these shoes. Very stable, very supported, and most likely I think that I will always want a stability shoe for the full distance of a marathon. Now for a half marathon, I've ran at least 13, if not more, and probably more. I do have like a chart of all of my half marathons, but if it's a complete road half marathon, I think I might try like a carbon plated shoe, or as long as I know that I've built up and maintained a good amount of miles. My New Balance one that I've talked about, I've ran up to a 10K in that one, because I knew it was all road. Now where I feel like I'd get into a problem with that is if I was running on gravel, and if anyone knows anything about these kind of shoes, a lot of them have that slot in the sole. And I've had other shoes in the past that had slots in the sole of the shoe, and you'd get rocks in there. and it was pain in the butt. I guess I could say butt. Because you'd have to dig those rocks out occasionally. So I know for a fact that our first marathon, or half marathon that we're doing in September, I will use my steady eddies. That's what I'm going to call them. My guide 17s are my steady eddies. That is what I will use, because there's a little bit of field, a little bit of gravel, and I'd rather just go with what I know. And then our second half marathon, which about 6 weeks later, I think that's when I'll try to use my New Balance. I do have another pair of carbon plated shoes, and I'm adjusting to them, but I don't like them as much as I like my New Balance, and that is the Saucony Pro 4. I know there's some other verbiage in there, but because I'm such a Saucony lover, I do love Saucony. I was very hopeful that because I started to like the New Balance, that I would be like even on next level with the Saucony Pro 4, and I'm not, because there's some kind of, the way my foot goes in those shoes, and they slap down on the surface and make quite a racket that I can get used to, but they still don't feel as comfortable as the New Balance. And I might not even be making any sense, because I like stability shoes, and I think that the Saucony may have more stability. However, I'm not sure, because I don't do measurements or anything like that. I'm not trying to figure out the engineering of the shoe. I think the Saucony Pro 4 is thinner in the width. That is another reason why I'm not having as much fun in that shoe. And that's what I am. I'm a fun runner. Yeah, it's exciting to PR. I like that. I use the Strava app. I get excited, and I get mad if the Strava doesn't get it, and I have to figure out how to get my watch to talk to Strava properly, so I can get that data in my Strava. But I'm still more just for the experience of going places, new places, or even places that I've been before. Because, once you know a course well enough, you don't have that uncertainty, and then you can strategically try to figure out where you're going to be able to pick up the pace, and you're going to know where you're going to want to take a little break, because you might have a little tough of a hill here, and you might want to keep your heart rate at a certain level, so you have some surge left in you whenever you can take advantage of it, So, yeah. But by no means is this going to be this trips and trots is not going to be completely based on running. I don't know enough about running, and I'm sure other people will disagree with everything that I said. I never ran track. I never ran cross country. I didn't even run my first full mile until I was in my mid-20s. But then you catch the running bug, just like my husband did. That's down there somewhere. He knew I wasn't going to really try to take it seriously today. And the weather really isn't that bad. We had really humid weather on Tuesday, and I did okay on my run. If I don't take any walk breaks, that's awesome. But I don't get mad at myself for taking walk breaks. I've been taking walk breaks since I've been running, for whenever I started to pick it back up. And I took a hiatus from running, except for maybe the occasional jog, for 7 years, and then decided I was going to do it again, and then realized that I lost so much. If you don't use it, you lose it, and I did. But you still have it up here, guys. Still up there. That's what you have to remember, too. The brain doesn't forget that kind of stuff. So you'll still have your hard days, and you'll still sometimes wonder, why did I run this again? Why? I know what to expect. I know it's going to be blazing hot. I know I'm going to have to crawl up this hill that I hate at the end. And they do that a lot, don't they? But those darn hills at the end of the race. But then when you're done, it's that sense of accomplishment that makes you want to do it again. So I really hope that my husband enjoys this journey that he's on right now. Eventually I won't look at myself, or I don't even know where I'm supposed to be looking. I think I can figure this all out down the road. But yeah, I'm just seeing what happens, and I know my conversation is a lot about the running today, but it's because I'm out here seeing if I can do this. And there's a lot I want to share with you guys, like some really exciting things that we're going to be doing, because we love to travel. We really do. We like to cruise and road trip. We started camping, and you know, we always said we wanted a camper, and then when 2020 happened and the world shut down, I think everybody started thinking, oh, I might need to get me a camper. So, and we have dogs too, so it's nice because we can take them with us. But yeah, 2020 happened. We really started to think about it, but we didn't know. It's a big, commitment to decide if you're going to get a camper RV. We don't have like a motorized version. It's a pull behind, but we've had some fantastic times, and we started out very small with a used one and worked our way up. We had that one for 3 years. And then last year, it was really starting to go to pot. So, am I allowed to say that? Pot? It was getting bad. There was things going wrong with it, and for the amount of money that we paid for it, you hear something in the background. That's a big old truck going up the highway, close to the area where I'm at. But yeah, so we upgraded last year. Our first camper didn't have a slide out. This one does. And we've taken it to camps that were close to football games that we like to see for professional football. You'll probably learn more about that later in our lives, or of the vlogging, about our sports adventures and places that we're close to, that even college football is something to enjoy. Yeah, so lots of stuff. And because we're training for a marathon, there's probably going to be a lot of content about marathons, but I don't want it to be just about that. And when we go places, I'll try to show you like different shops along the way, stuff, all kinds of stuff. And maybe you guys will like it, and maybe I'll just end up being some boring person that just likes to over-explain, because I do that. But I'm going to say toodaloo again, and trot on, trotters. Bye. I'm sure you guys have all seen geese before, but you know, they're here. They don't like me.